Hello, welcome back to Pink Door Sims. Today I'm doing a speed build of my Sparked Challenge Destination Wedding, and this is my Romeo and Juliet Shakespearean estate. Here I am building that ladder up to the second balcony, which is in the whole story of Romeo and Juliet, and I think it turned out really well. And just a quick reminder too, if you like this video and my other videos, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm also on Twitter and Twitch. And yeah, so I do end up building some ivy here along this ladder to kind of make it look like, like your Romeo could climb up the ivy. And that's one of the fun creative things we can do now that we have ladders. So this is one of 3 builds I did for this Sparked Challenge. I also renovated my Shipwreck nightclub to be a wedding venue instead. And then I also decided to build a massive build that was Venice, Italy. So I'm also working on speed builds of those. So you could check those out too in a few days. They should be up. Here I am working on the windows. I thought that it would be good to do the curved windows, some stained glass, and then those little base game windows that are, I forget what they're called, but to me they're very Shakespearean. I'm sure I'm about to go find some here in a second. Yeah, you can see one right there that I just moved. I think those totally go with the theme of like a Romeo and Juliet estate. And here I am building that ivy. I do tons of ivy, and I love watching ivy in speed builds. So I had really a lot of fun editing this video and speeding up all of that ivy and watching it go in. I just love watching it. I don't know why, but yeah. And here I do a little bit of landscaping. I don't normally do detail work like this early in the build, but I wanted to make sure I had that balcony kind of the way that I wanted it, just right from the start. And I fooled around a lot with the floor plan for this. So it was like a million different ways. I got really frustrated. I honestly thought about starting from scratch because I got so annoyed. But then I decided to do this like outdoor, indoor, I guess. This is like the chapel area, but the roof is just ivy, like plants built into a, I don't know what you would call this, like overhang thing, awning thing, but it's all built in together. So yeah, and if I don't know if you've seen other people do this, you probably have. You can use the fencing, the low fencing, to kind of build your own thing, delete the floor out from under it, and add those plants to kind of make your own awning. And then I sized down, these are some, I don't know if those are in live edit or hidden objects, or they might just be regularly available in the game. I know we do get some of that stuff regularly available in the game from Get Together, but those are like the ruins church things. And I sized those down to kind of make this look like a kind of churchy looking ceremony chapel area. I played around a lot with the colors in this because I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do like springy colors or reds, but I think I ended up sticking with reds, and I think it turned out really well. Really good, really well. And here I am putting those candles in and adjusting some of the candles and flowers that go around the wedding arch. And then I do put these like candelabra things on the side, and then I twist them also where they're not exactly identically sitting. So they look a little bit more natural. And here I am kind of playing around even more with the floor plan. I have tons and tons of balconies in this build. I'm not even sure how many I have total because there are so many. But I have these 2 that come off. That ends up being the reception area. Well, I guess it's like the cocktail area, the cocktail like bar area. And this is the little museum right as you walk into the estate. I thought it would be cool to do kind of like a mini museum. I know some places have those, and I did 2 urns, which I know is like, okay, that's death, and this is supposed to be a wedding venue. But I thought it would be cool to have like Romeo and Juliet's urns, and then a couple like items in this mini museum, like a knife that I put in a wand case, and a few other items. And this is me playing around with the upstairs floor plan. This ends up being a library and a kitchen, and then I do a couple bedrooms as well. I tried to have lots of entrances and exits to this build, and just lots of little spots where people could hang out and have a cocktail or have a chat. And here's some more of that ivy that I love to watch. I do some ivy on the inside too, which I don't know if I've ever done ivy on the inside of a build. Actually, I have before because I did an underground um, like pool thing in a vampire build once, and I did ivy all over those walls. And here I am adding some lighting, and then I add ivy to the backside behind the bar too. I thought it just made it look really cool. And part of this kind of, I guess, I can't remember if Romeo and Juliet is an Italian um, story or not. If it was supposed to be in Italy, I think it was. But for some reason, when I was doing this ivy and this like indoor, um, I guess it's like indoor gardening, indoor like landscaping stuff, it kind of reminds me of like an Olive Garden. I know that's so cheesy, but that's what it reminded me of. And here I have like a little like welcoming room. It's kind of like a living room, but I also put a bunch of wedding gifts in here. And I went with a very like red and blue theme kind of throughout the whole build. There is a lot of green too, but it's kind of royal looking, but I tried to make it almost medieval. And then here is the like dining reception hall, and it was kind of giving me like Game of Thrones vibes, like season 1. And that's the bride and groom table there at the front. And I'm still doing those stained glass windows. And I think I add maybe 5 tables in here, 4 or 5 tables, and do some white tablecloth. So it's pretty formal. I know that for the Spark Challenge, it was supposed to be a few different specific themes. I think this one is rustic. I didn't realize there were themes when I first started building this, but I think it goes with rustic. And I'm hoping that they will see it as being kind of unique because a lot of people did rustic like barn weddings. But I think you can still do like a rustic Italian wedding too. And so this is kind of a twist on that. I'm never quite sure how to do these like Tudor style walls with the slants. I kind of try to mix it up. I don't know if they're all supposed to be the same or not. I try to mix them in together. But I do not have a lot of experience seeing Tudor homes in real life, so I'm really not sure exactly how they go. Then here I am working on this little interior garden courtyard area. I decided to do an outdoor flower garden, so that's why I pulled those flowers, and I did bring a sim in to plant all of those, and I made them to be fully blossoming and also to be perfect, so I evolved them all the way till they were perfect. And here I am, like I said, playing with those Tudor walls, trying to figure out the best way to do that. So yeah, so there is a flower garden area outside, and then on one of the balconies, I actually do an herb garden. Then that's the balcony that's by the kitchen. So here I am doing paint. I love watching paint in a speed build too. And this is just some landscaping. I did pull out, and I cut that out of the speed build. I pulled out a lot of live edit plants because I think they have better texture. I pulled a lot of different things out like that, like those little stone mushroom things. I love putting those in with my landscaping. And here I am just doing some more landscaping. I love watching that in a speed build. Some sunflowers. And yeah, I loved using, they're from Island Living, but those big, wide, low-laying flowers that are kind of like the maroon color, I used a lot of those in this build. They might be from Island Living. They might also, I think they match the wall ivy that came with Jungle. So it's from one of those packs. And then I do a dance floor out here. I didn't do a DJ booth. I just did a speaker. And I've never done this before, but I realized we have a lot of like the chess pieces or checker pieces. We have a few different options actually. We have some that came with the patio pack, and then some that came with Get Together. And so I think I ended up using the ones with patio pack because they have a little bit of light in them, but I thought that was kind of a cool thing to do since we do have the checkerboard dance floor. And then here we go with the speed building of the ivy. I just love watching this. And so if you haven't done ivy work before, you can do option click and put the ivy wherever you want, which helps making it look more natural. And then you can also size it up and down. And I do a lot of ivy on this build. And it is important too to mix in different colors and also the like the branchy ivy that just has the petals on it makes it look more realistic. So here I am doing the attic area. I think I skipped over the decoration of the bedrooms and the kitchen and the library because I live streamed that and I didn't record it. So this is a speed build of the attic. I just made the attic really creepy and then just like a lot of storage items and I think I turned that little rug to the side. I put like the newspapers up there. I make it look like they're storing some extra benches. And then this room I make into kind of like a spellcaster room. So in the story of Romeo and Juliet, we know that the friar makes the potion. There's a couple different versions of how they've done it where they both take potions and die. And then some where like she wakes up and stabs herself. That's why I put the sword in the little museum, but I also put some potions under that display case. So I thought it would be cool to have like the friar's room or like a spellcaster room upstairs, kind of hidden up in the attic. I thought that was like a nice detail, a nice touch. It kind of goes along with the story of Romeo and Juliet. And then here I am adding some lighting and some details to all the hallways. I feel like in medieval shows, there's always tons of hallway shots, like they're walking through hallways a lot. So I tried to make not an open concept build. Everything has a lot of long hallways and little rooms that go in between things, so it's not just all super open. And here I am working on that spellcaster room. I did do a cauldron. I thought about doing like the little velvet ropes to kind of make it look like you could walk in a couple spaces and look around, but you couldn't actually walk through. But then I decided not to do that because I wanted them to be able to access that front top balcony that's not covered. And then I'm doing even more ivy work. I kept going back and looking at what this build looked like once it went into the gallery and looking at it from that view to try to decide how much or how little ivy I wanted to do. And another tip or trick too is if you have an object that's for some reason cutting through a wall or cutting through to the outside, you can always cover it with that very thick ivy that came with jungle because it is so thick, it normally will cover anything that's cutting through a wall. And then I decided I didn't know if I needed to do this in the front, but I ended up really liking it. I do that fountain that came with Romantic Garden and kind of make a little romantic area up here. And here I am going with that paint. Like I said, I love watching paint in speed builds around all of that landscaping to kind of make it look a little bit more planted in. And here I am working on some detail work in the kitchen and adding a couple little items in here. I do add that little table that makes it kind of like an island. And now it's time for screenshots, and oh my gosh, I love the way that this build looks in the sunset lighting. I took some of these screenshots in the sunset lighting and some in the regular lighting, so they kind of vary as we go. But here is the entrance and the entry hall. And of course, to the right, there is that little museum with the urn. So it's kind of like, I don't know, a death theme for love, but I don't know. Is love death? We don't know. Here's the sitting area. And there is a gift pile in here for the couple, and then the bride and groom table, or groom and groom, or bride and bride, whatever. And this is the dining reception area. I did go in and play test and then have a sim do play settings on all these tables. And I also had her build a cake. I don't know why it didn't show up in the screenshots, but oh well. And then we've got the sunset here from that terrace balcony area. And then going through this hallway, we go back to the best part, which is the bar. And we've got a little cocktail area. You can have a drink before or after the ceremony, get a little tipsy, get a little flirty. There are 2 balconies off of the cocktail area that have little tables on them. And then we've got the ceremony. I took these ceremony screenshots with the sunset lighting and it's so pretty. I love it. So romantic. I just think it turned out really well. And then here is that courtyard area with the Romeo ladder up to that Juliet balcony, a little flower garden, and then a little sitting area there. And we've got the dance floor, of course, a few more tables in this courtyard area. And here's the back of that like chapel area, ceremony area, and the top of that as well. And then going through this door, you come into the stairwell room, and that goes up to two hallways. This is the first hallway, and it has the kitchen in it. And I kind of did like a medieval theme in the kitchen, kind of old-fashioned style looking, with an herb garden on its balcony. And then the other room is a library, also very like old-fashioned with the wood paneling style. And then through this door, you have the secondary hallway, which is the bedrooms. This is the guest room, and it has a bathroom off the side of it that I didn't show. And then this is the honeymoon suite, which is the Juliet bedroom. And I like taking screenshots from the bed to see like what it would look like if you were laying in bed, what you would see. So, yeah, this balcony view is so pretty. I did a little table with like a notebook out there, and a couple chairs so you could enjoy the sunset. And then that's where Romeo would climb up the ladder. And then here's the bathroom for the honeymoon suite. Now, going back to this like stairwell that you can see on the left there, we go up to the attic. And this is really supposed to just look like a storage area. That's why I put the extra benches and some crates. And then we've got the spellcaster Friar's room where he makes the potions with that cool roof feature. And here are some more sunset pictures. So I hope that y'all liked this build. I loved making this. I think it turned out really great. I love all of the ivy. I just think it's really, really pretty. And of course, like I said, I did submit this for the Destination Wedding Sparked Challenge. I have two other builds that I also did that I am going to make speed builds of as well. I just haven't edited those yet, but please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video. I'm also on Twitter as Pink Door Sims and on Twitch. I don't do live streams as much, but I do get on there occasionally, and I'm hoping to do more live streams once I get a better computer setup that doesn't lag as bad when I'm doing streaming. And yeah, here are just some screenshots of the floor plans as well. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.